There it is. Boom. Hey guys, 2 nights ago and very little sleep later, we have come from that night shooting the sunset at Lost Dutchman State Park in Arizona to Kolob Canyon, Zion National Park in Utah. Up there is Rusty and Brendan and my camera. Oh, man. I'm not breathing hard because this was difficult. We just got done with the improved photography retreat. 3 days, 4, kind of the day we arrived. And man, that was an awesome retreat. It was a lot of fun, but we never slept. When we actually did sleep, we ended up with 3 hours, 4 hours of sleep. And then we would have a bright and early wake-up call to get out to in the morning to a sunrise or catch the moon. It's full moon right now, and it was setting and huge. So we wanted to capture that. So we had no sleep at all, and I feel like I'm just completely out of shape with not sleeping. I wasn't in shape, but I'm worse when you don't get any sleep. So I go up this tiny hill, very angled and everything, but makes me pant like a dog that's been outside for an hour. Instead, I'm a fatty who's going up a slanted hill for about 10 minutes. Let's get joining up with Brendan.
So I did a huge 180 degrees of this area from my right straight out all the way to my left this way. So too early and not enough energy to, I don't know, it's just awesome. Either way, we made it happen.
So I'm gonna come up here and join Rusty and see how he's doing. Check out the epic terrain you're on. That is awesome. Yeah, it is. Here's Rusty Parkhurst at rustyparkhurst.com and an author and writer at improvephotography.com. How's your shot?
It's doing good. There's a lot of dynamic range. That light up there above the rocks is extremely bright, and down below it's just in shadows. So I'm really having to bracket a lot to get enough shots to cover the range. So hopefully I'll get what I need.
Have you been sticking with a pano or going just one frame?
Done a little bit of both. I've done a pano. Most of my shots have just been single frames, just looking for good foreground elements and trying to find some rocks or some of these striations in the rocks to use for leading lines and things. But yeah, it's just really cool. Those rocks are just super red, and then hopefully that sun's going to come over and really brighten things up here a little bit. I've been working with 2 cameras. I got my Fuji and I got my Canon set up over here. And earlier I was shooting with the Canon, trying to get some of this green shrubbery in the foreground, and then that gnarly tree down here a little bit further down, and then the rocks. and the colorful clouds, sunrise, colorful clouds in the background. Again, a lot of dynamic range, so I was bracketing like crazy to try to get the foreground and try to get some of the color in the clouds at the same time. So it's going to take some software processing to get that to all come out.
Are you waiting for the harder light to come out here?
Yeah, I'm hoping when the sun comes
it's-
up over those rocks that it's going to maybe reflect off of the terrain behind us and make those rocks in front of us glow. But we'll wait and see, I guess.
So this area is so cool because I like how we're completely spread out. Like Rusty's over here, Aaron's down there, and I'm over there to his right. And because this area is so like wide, but there's so much different terrain and trees and plants everywhere that we can have this same amazing grand view, but have completely different compositions.
Right. Ah, branches. Oh, step into a bush where a snake is. Ay, ay, ay. Sun's coming out, so let's go for it. So I got my camera set up. I did a nice single frame, wide angle. I love the tree right here, so I had to compose around it. That sun is looking great.
So yeah, fun place to photograph? Yeah, I'd say absolutely. And we could be hiking up this hill more. It's pretty steep, but there's lots of big rocks to jump on and go from rock to rock and just kind of do this giant stair climb up this hill. I mean, look at where Rusty is from here. He's on this cool, huge boulder. And you can see it's jetting out sideways with those stratus lines. It's just so cool. Oh my gosh, these rocks are so epic. They are awesome.
We're trying to find another column of light. We saw one actually coming down, but it just wasn't a good composition. Yes, it was a column of light, but we're not there yet. So we're trying our luck with this area over here that can still have a column of light that happens.
Oh, we're seeing so much more now than we did before. It's so amazing.
Yeah.
Should be an open door that we're on and off and on again. Oh, it's hard to feel it, so we pretend, and then we're off and on and off again. Oh, heaven forbid. We saw it coming, we heard the sirens, but we kept our heads in the sand. And now we're back drifting, just lonely islands. We still swim, but we can't see land. And so we're on and off and on again.
We did it. We found one. We found a light shaft right there. So I got to get this 7300 put on. We got trees up there in the distance. I can't miss this shot.
Off again, oh heaven forbid. It's the same old fire, and we can't seem to put it out.
I think I got to go wide. I was sitting at a portrait orientation and it was kind of cutting out a lot of the breadth of the way of the light beam. So I'm going to go landscape, check my meter, bracket for one under, one over, and neutral, and here we go. I'm just gonna take a shot real quick because I don't want to miss what's happening right here. Okay, get my metering up just right. Let's change a focus point. Ah, geez, that's awesome. So I'm going to focus about 1/3 into my frame, hit the back button focus. Focusing is good, start my exposure, and just relax. So right now I'm on a very tiny LCD and I don't know what my frame is looking like on all the corners. So now I'm going to get rid of all the information and see what my corners are looking like. What am I doing wrong? What tangents am I causing? What kind of change would I have wished I'd done when I get back into processing? Gosh, that is cool. I think I'm going to get that rock face there and keep my focus into 1/3. Ah, it's so windy.
All right, I'm really liking the light rays coming down between these rocks up here and lighting up those trees. I started out using a 70 to 200 lens to get zoomed in a little bit. I did some shots at 70, kind of pulled back a little bit, and then I zoomed in to 200 to get right up on some of those trees. I even tried a polarizer thinking that it might cut down some of the glare, but I think I'm shooting a little bit too much directly into the sun for that to be effective. You have to be more perpendicular to where the sun's rays are coming through the shot for that to really work. So I took that off, decided to go a little bit wider, and so I'm using a 10 to 24 lens, which is really actually a 15 to 36 because I'm using a crop sensor camera, kind of getting a broader, wider scene to show the whole mountain and also to capture those sun rays and those trees in the background that are lit up. The only thing I'm missing now is a good foreground, so I'm going to try to get a little bit lower and find something to put into my foreground of this shot, and then I think that'll be a good shot. So I moved down the road a little bit to try to get some of this, whatever this shrubbery is, right in the foreground, and I'm got right up close to it with my wide angle lens. I think that kind of breaks up down below here that you can't really see. There's a lot of dead stuff and just kind of ugliness, so I'm kind of blocking that out with this foreground subject, and then getting the light rays and the trees, those glowing trees in the background. There's a lot of dynamic range because that sun's just really getting bright up there. So I am bracketing my shots, and it may take as many as 5 or 6 different exposures to blend it together to get all the dynamic range. But I think it's going to be a good shot. The only thing I don't like, but it's kind of a compromise, is I kind of moved down a little bit far enough that I'm not seeing as many of those trees up there. But I still think it's going to be a good shot.
Pendulum. Different.
Okay, so I crawled up here. I saw some animal prints going up this hill, and so I decided to follow them.
You were hungry?
I was hungry. You can see them here. There's some tracks. They're little 3-fingered. I'm not sure what kind of animal that is, but
Just look a deer to me.
yeah, maybe a little deer. But so you have this shaft of light. I've got a great angle from up on this hill with the light coming through at the angles, you know, like to the side, which makes it the best, you know, composition. So I'm getting a ginormous panoramic of this whole view, and I think it's going to turn out really well because I got a 5 exposure HDR image per shot, and I'm taking like, I don't even know, 20 plus shots, and I'm going to merge them all together as a giant panoramic. So
that in 5 years.
it's going to be amazing.